My name is Jaren Dupree, and I'm the head of career success here at Full Stack Academy and Grace Hopper program. You know, when you come to a boot camp, a lot of people focus on the curriculum that they're going to be learning, but what they don't realize is how important the career development aspect is, because for you to start a new job in your career, you need to know what you're against. And that means that you need to have a good resume, good LinkedIn, good GitHub, and other things that, you know, employers would look for. Here are 3 things that you can do to make your LinkedIn stand out, even if you don't have any experience as a developer. First, you need to have a good personal summary. Personal summary is really important because it gives the employer insight to who you are. And a lot of people think that it's just your tech skills that get the job, and that's not actually true. You know, you got to be a good culture fit too, and that's where personal summary comes in. So it's 3 parts to it. I do the past, present, and future. Past as in what were you doing before coming to Full Stack Academy. Present as in what was that aha moment, and like why do you love coding? You know, don't just tell me I love coding. I love coding because I love to solve problems. I like to build efficient tools. I like to make something that my sister can use. And then what am I looking for the future, which is really important too to employers to see if you're a good hire for them. So one of the things that I see a lot on resumes, especially recent grads, is in their summary they'll say, I'm looking to obtain a software engineering role where I can learn and grow. And that doesn't really give me a lot as an employer. Like, why do you want to be here? You know, what I want to see is how is the opportunity I have match up with what you're looking for. So instead, saying something like, you know, I'm looking for an open environment with transparency, a lot of pair programming, collaboration, maybe working on developer tools or consumer-facing tools, and that way I know that what you're looking for is pairing up with what I have and that you know what you want. So the second part is projects. As a bootcamp grad, you don't have previous experience to show to employers, so that's why you use your projects to show them what you have built from scratch. At a bootcamp like Full Stack Academy, you get to build projects from scratch, like our capstone, which is a 2.5-week project. And that shows to employers that you can take something and take complete ownership of it and build it, which you don't always get in educational settings. An area that we see students falling short is when talking about their projects and what their contribution was. A lot of the times you do pair programming, it's great, but you need to know, what did you bring to this? And that's why highlighting your main contribution is really key for employers to understand, what did you do in this project? Finally, keywords is really important in your LinkedIn as well as your tech resume. Most resumes and LinkedIn's are skimmed for about 6 to 10 seconds. So if you don't have what I'm looking for, I'm going to bypass you really quickly. And LinkedIn's also a search engine site. So if you only have JavaScript written in your summary or in your project, nowhere else, you're not going to pop up in the first page or second page. So you need to make sure you beef that up with all the keywords that you can put in different areas. A couple of the places to put your keywords, your summary, especially when you're looking at a job that is Ruby or backend that you don't have, or a language that we don't teach, you should indicate that that's something that you either have some similarity with or are interested in learning. A second place to put it is in your projects. There is a detailed area that you write down in your projects what you've done and what you've worked with. Put it in your education, right? That's another place. That's 3 places now. And of course, make sure that your skills have those technologies as well. I always refer to LinkedIn as your trash can. You can put everything in it, and you should put everything into it. For some situations, for students that have never worked or have any experience, we encourage them to put Full Stack Academy under their experience to show the projects that they've done. That highlights their projects a little bit better, especially for individuals who need to beef up their LinkedIn because they don't have much. You know, one misconception is the fact of not putting anything that's unrelated in there, and people want to see that you worked in an office, right? If you've worked as a research assistant at your school, like that actually still is relevant because I know that you know how to work. So yeah, I would definitely think putting any kind of volunteer work or, you know, even helping your friend build a site, especially if you get paid for it. I mean, why not? But pro bono work is always great. And you know, a lot of people are so concerned about not having previous background in any kind of technology, but it's not a must to have that. Honestly, we had a student who graduated from the program from FSA, and he was an actor for many years, so he didn't have anything technical. He didn't study anything mathematical or you know, computer science in any degree. And he today works at Amazon, and the reason why is because he got the foundations that he needed, he studied for his interviews, and he rocked it in the interview process. So as we mentioned, LinkedIn is like your trash can. You can put everything in there. I wouldn't say the same thing for resumes. Resumes need to be in one page. So when it comes down to the layout of resumes, it is a little bit different in how you approach the same things that you would need in LinkedIn. For example, your summary and the about you, if we take up half a page about your summary, like there's nothing else, So we tend to not focus so much on summary, but the way that we can add your personality into a resume is by talking about interests. That's something that would be on the bottom. But the way that Full Stack Academy encourages students to build out their resume is you got a strong header. In your header, you need to have your links for LinkedIn, GitHub, your address, your phone number, and your email, obviously, because it's really important for people to get in touch with you. Next would be the tech skills, and those are the key words that we talked about earlier. Having them outlined in proficiency and knowledgeable is a great way to demonstrate your skills. That way that when an employer is talking to you, they know how much you know about a certain technology. And also, as we mentioned about keywords, if you're looking for a job that you don't have the experience in that technology, you can put that in as interested. And it's something that they're gonna scan for and be like, oh, they don't know Ruby, but they are interested in Ruby, so I should still reach out to them. So after your tech skills, you would put your projects. Projects is really important because, again, that's where they see the hands-on work that you've done with coding before. Next would come work experience if you have, and last would be education. And of course, a lot of your projects are going to be on GitHub, and that's where people can find the raw code to look at. But there's other things that you need to know on GitHub to make yourself stand out. You need to follow repos. So for example, if you're really interested in data science, like you should be looking at people's commits that have that kind of stuff. Or you're really interested in learning a technology, you should be looking at that and following it. You can star it, that's one way, you can follow it. Also, like a lot of companies put open source code in there too. You can contribute, you can follow it, you can look at it, you can add to it. So there's a lot to be done with GitHub that's not just putting up your projects or the raw code. Anyone can do this on their own. They can build their own LinkedIn, their own resume, and their own GitHub. But the job process, the interviewing process is really frustrating. What Career Services provides you is how to build out your LinkedIn, how to do a good tech resume, how to pitch yourself, how to prepare for phone interviews, how to prepare questions for interviews. We do mock technical interviews with our technical team members. We do follow-up reviews, cover letter reviews. We do mock interviews for an interview that you may have set up in the next week. We help you with salary negotiations, what to say when you're declining an offer, what to say when you're accepting an offer. Until you get a job, we don't stop.